everyone, this is Anna from Savvy Cat Realty, and today I'm here to talk to you about the region of Lousã. For those of you who don't know, my name is Ana Caramujo. I'm the owner of Savvy Cat Realty. Savvy Cat Realty is a relocation and investment agency that operates in Portugal and helps expats move to Portugal in a sustainable lifestyle way. Basically, we help you find the right location for the lifestyle you want to have. All our services are very tailored, and we are very concerned about cultural and economical sustainability. So we want to make sure that the expats that settle in Portugal have all the information in order to make valuable purchases for both sides and not inflate the local market. We work with both rentals and purchases and are a team of locals that lived here our lives and are able to advise you on the right neighborhoods and make sure that you find the right property, and from all the technical perspectives, including legal and engineering. So if this makes sense for you, do reach out to us at www.savvycatrealty.com, where you can find all of the information listed transparently. We work with both rentals and purchases, so do check this out. So, the region of Lousã. Lousã is a mountain region and about half an hour south of Coimbra. And it is a very beautiful region known for its availability and schist villages. And one of the reasons I'm making this video about Lousã now is that they are in developing what they are calling Metro do Mondego, which is a new transport that it's kind of using a train line, but it's a bus and it's being called Metro. But it's basically an exclusive line where these buses are going to go every 15 minutes towards this mountain region in the south of Lousã, of Coimbra. So they go from Coimbra to Lousã. So Lousã being one of the main cities in this region, the bus takes about an hour to reach it, this Metro do Mondego bus. And like I said, they are presenting it kind of like a metro, so it has this exclusive line that is only for this bus, so it shouldn't have, traffic issues and so on. I do believe that this choice is because there is not enough demand to justify the costs of an actual metro. So the bus is probably enough capacity to take the people that need it. And like I say, the frequency is going to be every 15 minutes. The trip, for example, from Coimbra to Lousã, it's going to be €3.26 per trip. Or if you want a monthly pass, it will cost between €38 and €51, depending on if you're a student, retired, and so on, and the region you want to go to, and so on and so forth. For reference, if you wanted to drive from Coimbra to Lousã, it takes about half an hour. So it still takes double the time that it would take by car, because of course it will stop in a number of towns between Coimbra and Lousã. They also have a really nice website. I was surprised. The website is very interactive and very smooth. So do check out the website if you want to see how this new metro line is going to operate. Another thing that this Lousã region is known for, like I said, is the schist villages. The schist villages are literally villages that are built with schist stone, so they have this very unique appearance. And it's because they are in the middle of this mountain of Serra da Lousã, a lot of them were kind of abandoned because they were not very easy to reach. For example, one of the very known ones is Telejnal. And Telejnal is about 20-25 minutes drive from Lousã through these very, very curvy roads. And I went there with my mom and she was very traumatized with because literally we have to stop and kind of get to the side because the road has two ways. but you don't really pass two cars comfortably. So when there's a car coming from the other way, you kind of have to squeeze somewhere so they can pass. And you know, it's a mountain road and there's these cliff sides and all of that. So it can be a stressful ride if you are bothered by this kind of scenarios. Anyway, these schist villages are very unique from a visual perspective because they are built with schist. And because of tourism developing, this is one of the good sides of tourism. For example, Telejnal, 10, 20, 30 years ago was completely abandoned and in ruin. And now it's a beautiful touristic village with most of the houses restored, and it's looking absolutely gorgeous and absolutely worth visiting. But this is definitely a place that makes the most sense from a touristic perspective because it's not particularly practical from a living perspective. Like anytime you want to go to the city, the closest city is Lousã, and it will take you 20 minutes through these very swirly roads. And if you want to go to a bigger city, it would be Coimbra, and it will be almost an hour to reach it. So it's not the most practical thing. Anyway, it's definitely worth a visit, and it's beautiful, and it has these alojamento local, so local lodging places now, even with pools, which I was very curious. And it's a beautiful little village. There's a number of other schist villages. I think I forgot to take the number, but they are like 40 or the qualified schist villages in Serra da Lousã. One of the most known one is Piodão. But to get to Piodão from Lousã, it actually takes about 1 hour and a half drive through these mountain roads. So it is a lot further away. So the Lousã town is a small town, and it has kind of a modern side and a historic side. The historic center, to be honest, is quite run down. There is a lot of buildings that still need renovation. And the modern side is a bit separated. You know, there's actually this Metro do Mondego line going almost dividing the town in that sense. So towards one side you have the modern side, and towards the other side you have the older historic side. And this modern side, it has, you know, modern buildings and all of that. While the historic side, like I said, has a lot of buildings that are a bit more rundown and could use some recovery. I do believe there is some investment happening at the moment. For example, the main church was being recovered at the time I was there. And there is also the Octant Hotel that opened there. I don't know how long, but I think it's not no more than 5 years that it's been there. So it's a relatively new middle high-end hotel that has a beautiful view, which is where I stayed. So this region, it does have its touristic hotspots, but it's not like overrun with tourism. It's still mostly local life. And it's very, very interesting from pricing perspective, because the average price in Lousã, it's still 982 euros per square meter for purchase. So still under 1,000 euros. And it's actually not that inaccessible of a region, Lousã itself. Lousã, it's actually not too far from this A13 highway. And taking this A13 highway, it actually only takes you about 1 hour and a half to Porto, 30 minutes to Coimbra, and about 2 hours and 15 to Lisbon. So it's actually pretty central and pretty accessible. So I do believe that it's a region that it's going to develop, and it's very interesting from an investment perspective, because it's very, very likely that it's going to rise significantly in price in the next few years. So if you are looking for a place that it's affordable but very likely to gain value, it can definitely be a very interesting location to look at. Another thing is that Lousã, being a mountain region, it has a lot of fluvial beaches around it. So in about half an hour drive, You have the castle that is actually not really a castle, it's just a tower in Lousã. It's just like 10 minutes, 5 minutes drive up the mountain. And then in that castle you do have a fluvial beach. I went there at the start of autumn, so this is late September, mid-late September. So there isn't a lot of water when I've been there, but on the earlier season there's a lot more water running. And like I said, in about half an hour drive, you tend to go towards the two cities that are close, very close or relatively close to Lausanne, two towns, not cities, are Castanheira de Pera and Miranda do Corvo. Because I wanted to film some of the mountain and the Lausanne, Serra de Lausanne, I went through the mountain roads towards Miranda do Corvo. And another very interesting thing is that there is a lot of investment in wind energy in this Serra. So if you go through these mountain roads, you will see dozens, maybe hundreds of wind turbines. And it's very interesting, the clash of the landscape. And it's a very lively mountain. It has a lot of chestnut trees, a lot of fires. Okay, so basically there's a lot of old trees here. And it's a nice drive if you want to like these mountain roads. The one towards Miranda do Corvo, it's very swirly, but not too bad when it comes to the width of the road. So you can actually pass two cars relatively comfortably. So it's a lot more relaxed than the one going to Tesla now. And if you go towards Castanheira de Pera, you will find some very beautiful fluvial beaches, like the one in Poço da Corga, which was the first one I went to. Like I said, it's just under 30 minutes drive. It has a whole complex. There's a picnic park, there's a recovered water mill, there's a restaurant, and it's a really, really nice fluvial beach that goes kind of in slopes, and it even has like an adventure park behind it. So it's a fairly modern complex. And then you also have in the actual town of Castanheira de Pera, which is a much smaller town, you also have actually these huge pool complex, and this is like not a natural fluvial water pool, it's a man-made pool complex of and the wave pool, and it's huge because I've heard of it at some point, but I wasn't really thinking about it when I went there, and I was so surprised by the size of this complex. Like, it has an artificial lake, even with some sailboats, and it has this huge pool with a lot of, I think when you go there, you book the shades or the shares. So the chairs and the shades were all numbered, and it's huge. It's absolutely huge, and I wasn't expecting to find that in the middle of the mountain. So it's definitely a curious thing, and definitely very interesting to go in the summertime. At the time I went, like I said, it's already in the second half of September, and it was already closed, but it's definitely a place worth visiting. So then I went from Miranda do Corvo to, from Castanheira de Pera to Miranda do Corvo. And to be honest, Miranda do Corvo was the place that surprised me the most on the positive. I was very impressed by Miranda do Corvo. And Miranda do Corvo, it's actually closer to the highway, so it's closer to Coimbra and to the other cities. It's just 10 minutes less. It's actually just like 15 minutes from Miranda do Corvo to Lousã, if you don't go around the mountain like I did. But when you go directly to the roads or the highway, it's just a 15-minute drive. But since it's actually closer to the highway, it's just 20 minutes to Coimbra, and in general less 10 minutes than the numbers I gave to Lousã. And Miranda do Corvo impressed me because the town center is very well renovated. There's this beautiful garden, and there's it goes a river, and most of the houses in this garden side are very well recovered. You have this church at the top of a hill where you have the view through the whole city. There was even like a business complex. There was the health clinic. There is also a stop to Metro do Mondego, and once again, it is the stop goes first, then Lousã, so it's less time than Lousã. And another thing that I really enjoyed in Miranda do Corvo was the biodiversity park of Lousã, which is in Miranda do Corvo, and it has a number of species that are native to the Lousã area, namely the Iberian lynx, which I love to see them so up close. It has bears, it has wolves, it has foxes, it has a number of birds of prey, and it also has the farm animals like goats and sheep and so on. So it was a very interesting experience that I highly recommend. And the prices in Miranda do Corvo are actually lower than in Lousã. So once again, I highly recommend it. The average price in Miranda do Corvo is actually 529 euros per square meter. So definitely one of these gems that I just stumbled on, and I'm highly recommending to you, because it's a really nice town, and it's actually quite accessible, and the prices are amazing. So you have the Metro do Mondego that just takes you 45 minutes to Coimbra. It will take you 20-25 minutes by car. It's near the highway access. And actually my favorite fluvial beaches of all of the ones I went in this little trip was the fluvial beach of Lousã, which is about 15 minutes drive from Miranda do Corvo. And I really liked it. It had this small cafe that had a number of local bio products produced locally. And it also, during the summertime, which is no longer the time when I went, it is guarded with lifeguards. And I just, it has the sides of it have grass and some umbrellas, and it was just a really nice location. I definitely recommend, if you want to visit it, go from Miranda do Corvo, because like I said, I came from the Castanheira do Pera side because I went around, and I went through this really little village that was extremely stressful because I had like 5 centimeters on each side on this really small road. But I got there and my car is still in one piece. I definitely recommend going to the other side where the road is a lot larger and better. And it's a really nice place to visit. So I believe this more or less covers everything from the Lousã region. Once again, this region was very positively surprising, and I highly recommend visiting. And if you want something affordable that it's likely to increase in value, Miranda do Corvo in particular, and also Lousã, can be great investments and are actually very centrally located. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Once again, I am the owner of Savvy Cat Realty. And if you want help in figuring out how to come to Portugal and make sure you make a safe landing here, we are here to help you. We list everything very transparently on our website in www.savvycatrealty.com. And of course, if you find this information useful, feel free to subscribe. We are here every week and also have a lot of information available for free on our blog. If you want to, if you have doubts about our services, you can also book a free clarification call with one of my employees in our website. And you can also, if you want more tailored advice, you can also book a discovery call with me through our website. So once again, we work with both rentals and purchases. I hope that this information was useful, and I hope to see you all next week. Bye!